right now. Never mind, I'm going to send it to Lynette. All right. I don't know if you can hear me, but if you can, Chris, just let me know if we're ready to go, if we're live. We are live. I knew it. God dang it. It's been a busy day today, my friends and my relatives. First of all, thank you very much for joining us. It means the world to us. It means the world to the Sacred Defense Fund, the Lakota People's Law Project, the iterations and the expressions of our work and our ongoing partnerships. We've got a lot going on tonight. We gave ourselves 2 whole hours so that you could receive the benefit of artistic mastery, in my opinion. We've begun to explore the world of the arts, fashion, art, and music. Those are some of the archetypal, the foundational expressions and methods of expression, methods of symbologically giving guidance to the human being, to the human species. And we have Tiana Spotted Thunder is going to be with us very shortly. We have a mixture of music and artistic talent, as well as spiritual, intellectual expressions of what we're doing, what you've empowered us to do over the years. It's almost been 20 years since I've had the benefit of being involved with Sacred Defense Fund and Lakota People's Law Project. And we have a goal of $20,000 tonight. And fortunately, Nomadics Teepee Makers, that's our friends Nicole and Jeb, way up in Oregon, that they hosted me. I had an opportunity to be hosted by Jeb and Nicole of Nomadics Teepee Makers. And Nomadics Teepee Makers, they've already pushed us more than 25% towards our goal. They've donated a significant chunk of money to us, to the Sacred Defense Fund, and to the Native American Youth Organization, which is a beneficiary of one of their projects, which is a calendar. They sell this amazing calendar, and we've got to pop their website up on here. But we'll give them a shout out on our social media, our social channels. And because you've linked with us, if you're here, it means you've either signed up to receive our newsletter or that you've become a member. And that is the most important way that we sustain this work. In order for us to have an ability to assert those rights and to defend those rights, to assert and defend the rights that adhere to tribal sovereigns and American constitutional sovereigntists, people who are conscious in our country of the nature of our republic, the nature of our rights as human beings. In order for those rights to be protected and defended, and for our children to be able to pursue life, liberty, and happiness, we need organizations like ours to step into that space. Sometimes, yes, that has been the front line, but sometimes that's going to be in the courtroom. We're also lawyers. You're going to hear from some of our lawyers tonight. We've got great things going in Sacred Defense Fund, in Lakota People's Law Project, because of your support, because you've become members for $10 a month. That is the basic membership that you can become a member. You can purchase that with us and support our work. And because enough of you have invested in Indian country, in indigenous nonprofit organizations like ours, we're able to pursue the path. And that path is leading us into many different places, because people like nomadics, teepee makers, and the different foundations, some of them don't necessarily want to be named, but we appreciate your work, however you found us. And we want to shout out. We're going to give credit where credit's due, but we're fighters, and sometimes they label the fighters, they label the dissenters, right, as unlawful or unruly or as activists or whatever labels I've had to endure, terrorists, right? The corporate fascist element in our republic, on the globe, doesn't want to see conscious human beings like you and me, who are completely aware of our rights and who we are as human beings, as Lakota people, as indigenous people, as American constitutional sovereigntists, as people who never forgot that we were once free. As Leonard Peltier likes to say, and I just spoke with Leonard 2 days ago, he's happy. It's so emotional to even conceive of Leonard Peltier doing 50 years in prison just because he was saying the same things I'm saying. He was standing up for those rights that we hold to be self-evident, those truths that are self-evident, and those rights that are inalienable. We're told that those rights are inalienable, but those forces, those dark forces, which are constantly trying to encroach on our rights as human beings, they don't stop. They don't take days off. So that's why we're trying to bring you kind of a shareholders report. Think of it like a shareholders report. That's what the Wopila Gathering. It started because of COVID, because we couldn't gather in person. We were so desperate to throw this gathering in person, and we will one day. We will one day, and you can still join by live stream. But we have Tiana Spotted Thunder, Darren Thompson, Natani Means. We have Destroy Casman. We have our legal team will give an update. And we also have Tokata, who I don't know if she's going to give an update or perform. It's up to her. And we have Rain from Heaven. And we are so grateful that you would join us tonight, because we're approaching winter equinox, and our lives, our work is reflective of our lives as Indigenous people. And our lives are informed by the changing of seasons. So when it's ceremony season, when it's from the spring equinox to the fall equinox, right in there between June 21st, backward a moon and forward a moon or two, heavy ceremony season for all Indigenous peoples, all Indigenous nations. And then from that fall to the winter, another very important time. And that, in the Christ conscious community, that's the resurrection. That is the dying of the sun and the coming back to life of that. When we turn around, the sun turns and is now, we're approaching the sun again. And then it's not guaranteed, right? As Indigenous nations, that's why we're so committed to upholding the covenant that we have with the sacred universe, because if we don't do these ceremonies, those seasons don't regenerate. And if we don't have access to sacred sites, we can't do the ceremonies. If we don't have clean water, if you can't breathe the same air that we're breathing, which are inalienable natural rights, then we can't ensure our prosperity and our longevity. So I really want to thank you for being here with us tonight. I've given somewhat of an outline of what we're going to do tonight. And I want to encourage you again to become a member. If you become a member, you can do so for $120, right? $10 a month. You could become a member all the way up to $500 per month. And we appreciate everybody, no matter what socioeconomic demographic you might be at in your life. If you're investing in us, then we're going to give our all to make sure that we're doing the work. We're doing the work of spiritual conscious enhancement, which informs our legal, our tribal sovereign policy work. We do all of that because we know who we are as human beings. But I want to make sure that you know where we're at, how to reach us, how to become a member. You go to lakotalaw.org for all of this. And I want to thank everybody in the chat. I see everybody is waiting to speak. I didn't set myself a timer, but so I'm ready to pass the mic. I think we have Tiana Spotted Thunder, who's just an amazing talent. I've been living on the Pine Ridge Reservation since 2018. And I know that Tiana Spotted Thunder, I know that name from my research into my own family history, connected with the Spotted Elk family and with December is a heavy time for Native people. December 15th is when Sitting Bull was assassinated. And when all of Sitting Bull's people linked up with Spotted Elk's people, which are my people, which are Tiana's people, which are a lot of people who are alive today, are literal lineal descendants from those same people. And then you have the Dakota 38, President Lincoln ordered the hanging, the largest mass execution in U.S. history, December 26, 1862, I want to say, because that was a punishment for the Dakota conflict. December is a heavy time. Obviously, we recognize the gravity of that, but we also encourage ourselves that we are survivors, that we're built for this. We're built for this struggle. We're built to navigate this. And even though we've suffered some of the most egregious acts of genocide, we still have it in our heart to smile. We still have it in our heart to forgive. It doesn't mean we forget. It doesn't mean we forget to hold people accountable, to hold strong, because the arc of justice, it bends over time. Just like Martin Luther King said, it doesn't mean you forget, but it means you allow it to scar over, and you allow yourself to smile once again. That's the power of indigeneity, is you can't take our joy. You can't take our smile. So with that, I want to pass the torch, pass the baton, and welcome Tiana Spotted Thunder on. Hey.
Hello, Wopila, for that awesome introduction, and Yokbia Wahi, Chante Washdenape, Chiuzapi, Tiana Spotted Thunder, Machiapi, Na La Koya, Tashiok Mukahuashde Mihemye, Ogalala Emataha Ash, Hunkpapa, Na Minikorju, Na Ogalala, Na Shahila, Hemachaksto, Bedeota, Ektawa Tiksto, Na Daya, Yahipiksto. I'm very happy to see you guys today. I'm happy that you came on to this live and very important messages, and also some performances today. So very happy to be part of this lineup. I wanted to open up in a good way with a prayer song, and then I'll be going into a few of my own songs. So yeah, bear with me. Yahweh, 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 oh, hey, hey, oh. Yahweh, 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 oh, hey, hey, oh. Hey, 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 oh, hey, hey, ah. Way, ya, ya, eh, oh, hey, ya, ay, oh, Yahweh, 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 hey, Yahweh, 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 hey, hey, oh. Yahweh, 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 hey, Yahweh, 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 hey, hey, oh. Yahweh, 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 hey, Yahweh, 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 hey, hey. Now, I wanted to open up with one of my newer songs, and this one is an affirmation song, which is a good way to speak positive words into yourself. And it's a very good practice to say some self affirmations and give yourself some good TLC by speaking that love back into yourself. So, even better, singing that love into yourself. Thank you all. I just really thank the organizers of this event for putting together an amazing live stream for everybody, and I support Lakota People's Law Project. I support Not Our Native Daughters. I support all of these organizations, and there's so many great ones out there doing amazing work out there. So I do encourage you all to put your donation in there and to help people who help people. We have a lot of boots on the ground people who are making changes and improving our communities. So, I'm very happy to have been asked by Chase and Tokata to be a part of this. And I have one more song before I close out, and this one is called Women's Material Games. I love playing hand games. I love playing stick games, and that was one of my favorite pastimes when I was a young teenager. And so I used to travel a lot for stick games, but this is one of my songs on my latest album, and you can check it out, and it's called Meadowlark. Okay, Wopila, Tonka, everybody, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the programming. There's so many great performers coming up. Dokshake.
Yeah.
Man, it's so freaking awesome to have you, Tiana. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
For real. I just want to, we're going to share links to Tiana's social, where I've been listening to Tiana for a long time, and she's amazing. She's dope. And we're going to share her platforms with you. Everybody who's signed in from throughout the world, I can finally see our chats. And I just want to thank you all for spending a little bit of time with us. I promise you this next time we're going to do this in person, but we'll give you 4 months advance notice so you have time to plan your travel. But Wopila is giving back. We have a ceremony, a Wopila ceremony. When you are blessed, or maybe you ask for something, you petition the powers for some blessing, or maybe you need something. When you receive the blessing, you have a responsibility to give Wopila. And it just means to feed the people, or to give something back to the people. So thank you for that, Tiana. Next, I want to get right in. Thank you for those who've become members already. Again, $120, you're good for a year. We won't bug you about it. Thank you so much. $10 a month gets you membership into the most exclusive club in the world. And we look forward to spending time with you. You get access to a whole bunch of things, exclusive things. So thank you for doing that, sincerely. But I want to introduce Darren Thompson. He's a cultural ambassador, and he's always on the move. And I respect and appreciate all of his efforts, everything he's doing. But he's got some updates for you. So without further ado, I want to bring on Darren. Thank you so much.
Hi guys, great to hear from you, Chase. We were sweating bullets a little before our meeting. All of our time is very precious, and Chase is very busy, like the rest of us. And I'm currently tuning in from my hotel room in Las Vegas, Nevada. I am attending the largest cannabis convention in the country. It's called the MJ BizCon. And the reason I'm here is to be on the ground to support the economic development efforts by tribes. There's unique rights that tribes retained, and their story as to how and why they're pursuing cannabis and or hemp development relates to their ability to advance themselves as a nation and develop their own economies. And there are many different efforts of different tribes doing that. And I will say that not all tribes are doing this, but some of them are. And over the last month, I have had 11 separate travels throughout the country. Last week, I went to Seattle to visit and spend time with leaders of the Native American Church of North America. That organization was founded in the year 1918 in Oklahoma, and it is the leading entity that advocates for the use, possession, transportation of the plant known to the world as peyote. That is a specific and exclusive right that is reserved to only members of federally recognized tribes. Not all indigenous people have access to that plant, and that is a whole other conversation. But my work there has been developing for the last 6 years, and they've entrusted our organization to support them and their messaging. And this last year, we acquired a brand known as the Last Real Indians website. It was a news website that was launched by Chase. And he graciously, without any fuss or fight, donated that site to the Sacred Defense Fund, who I'm very proud to work for and with. It is a very special time for all of us whenever we get a chance to work. But while I was in Seattle, I was picked up, hired by a well-known actress from Indian country by the name of Elaine Miles. She plays a role in the old television series called Northern Exposure and is the auntie that is on the popular film known as Smoke Signals. Her comment in that film is quoted by many people, and it's in regards to vaccinations. The reason why I was picked up is because she was stopped and arrested by ICE agents. She only had a tribal ID in her possession. They confiscated the ID and told her that it was fake. And as a result of that, there are many different efforts to support her, including organizing a lawsuit against the Department of Homeland Security. Now, the reason why tribes have tribal IDs is to comply with a federal Indian law that was passed in 1934 called the Indian Reorganization Act, which is predominantly the year that tribes began, federally recognized tribes began conducting enrollment. And possession of it is in compliance of that. So that is something that was requested and expected for tribes and their people and their citizens to possess, and not anyone can just get one. And I say that to say you can't use documents from ancestry.com to get enrolled in a tribe, right? And so your support for us allows us to position us to support these efforts, these movements, our leaders. And not all of our leaders are elected. Many of them are doing their own work in their own way. And you get a chance to hear from many of them who are leading the arts industry. Just Tiana, she was just featured on a documentary that was published on Friday by FNX in regards to our indigenous fashion designers and their models who are using their platform to raise awareness about missing and murdered indigenous people. And whether or not you heard this, earlier this year, the Department of Justice removed the mandated report on missing and murdered indigenous people. And that is a public safety thing. That's not a DEI thing. That's not a woke effort. And regardless of the mandated report, our people have been organizing, will continue to organize and raise awareness in regards to our people who go missing. And that includes in my own family. I have a missing person. We have not found him. And unfortunately, this is a far too common experience in Indian country, as well as other indigenous families north and south of our border. And so this work that we've developed with the Last Real Indians has received a tremendous invitation in the last 24 hours. And on Friday, myself and Elaine Miles will appear live on CNN in regards to this trend that we're seeing here in Indian country. And that show that is hosting us is called The Lead by Jake Tapper. We will share it on our socials, but this gives us an opportunity to address the nation and how this affects people like Elaine and other folks. And she's not the only example of one of our people who's been stopped and apprehended by ICE. And a lot more to say on that. But having said that, we have a great lineup. Our next act is a very, very passionate, very amazing talent who's known to the world as Natani Means. I believe he's tuning in down from New Mexico, Four Corners area. Earlier this summer, we had the opportunity to host Natani at our first Indigenous Media Camp, which was conducted during the Santa Fe Indian Market Week. And we also had the opportunity to host him at our concert, which we're still hearing lots of wonderful things about. And your support for us allows us to organize like that, to support our talent as well as to build community. And that is it's a very precious and sacred task to move forward with. And we're glad that Natani can join us for this opportunity. So having said that, Chimigwich, and thank you all, and I hope to see you all soon.
How. Pull me up for that. Darren. How matake api. Chante washte na pe choose api. Natani Means and Machi api. Albuquerque Awati. Albuquerque, New Mexico Awati. Oglala Lakota Hemacha. My name is Natani Means. I come from 4 different nations. I'm enrolled in the Oglala Lakota Oyate, and I'm also Dene and Umaha as well, Omaha, and I'm also Ihanktoa Dakota as well. And I honor those four nations that I come from. But I'm a hip hop artist. I am, known for the activism that I've taken part in, the environmental rights and human rights that I've stood up for, as well as indigenous rights. And I've been a long time supporter of Lakota Law, as well as natural law, and an ally to Sacred Defense Fund. But I'm gonna perform some music for you guys today, so we're just gonna get right into it. Let's see if we can. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Give me a thumbs up if the sound is good in the chat. A freedom fighter, more like a heathen disciple. Been lost in the current, but now I'm breaking the cycle of destructive patterns set in place by boarding school idols. That's why I say fuck these priests and motherfuck the Bible. Trying to suppress thoughts of blowing up an oil rig. Thoughts of our ancestors, cause they died for us to live. Nightmares of water wells drying underneath the res. And free all my homies that are locked up in the feds. I'm from the reservation. Dead president, paper chasing. Culture preservation, language revitalization. Been all over the nation, from Swinomish to Seminole. 4 corner bread, I was raised on the Navajo. My words get your head spinning like you had vertigo. Malakota, nakenula wa ualo. That means I'm ready to fight. Peace to Anishinaabe, protecting wild rights. See, this one's for my people that are straight up out the mud. fighting every day, just protecting what they love. I was raised around men that really had no fear, and matriarchs that taught me when to think clear. My older cousin showed me when to keep the burner close. Sat and listened to elders every time that they spoke. And I pray with corn pollen and eagle bone whistles. When my people come calling, you can bet I'm in the middle of the action. What's happening? Not boasting or bragging. Don't need weak reaction from people who lack passion. Fighting every day is something new. Fought demons all alone, struggle with substance abuse. I lay it on the table just so y'all know that I'm true. I've had people show support, then put arrows in my back. Drag my name in dirt just to see how I'd react. Never had to lie on records, all I spoke was facts, huh? All right. The song is called, it's a remix called The Heaven EP. And it's you can find it on YouTube. Any and anywhere on YouTube. Check it out. I'm all over. But yeah, we'll go right into the next song. They fucked up now. Hey, Hatani, me. I know. I know. I know. I feel like I'm back in the COVID days performing online. You know, look, you know what it is when I roll through. Mindset came from the old school. Super Saiyan mode like Goku, talking on shit. You don't know what I go through. Run the pack like a running back with the tracks. I've been running laps and I flip it till I make 100 sacks. I ain't new to the shit, I'm a motherfucking vet. 100 round drum in the clip. They already know what it is with the kid. Still solve these problems with a fist. I'm a savage, I'm losing my grip. Bitch, burn down the Mayflower ships. And I'm paranoid after social meds. Talk a big game, but they talking to the feds. New side on the beam, and I'm motherfucking red. Yeah. Look, they talk a lot of shit. Better get out the way. They talk a lot of shit. Better get out the way. I never back down from a challenge though. They love me from the rest of the Vardio. I represent on the main stage. I cash out when I'm still paid, so bounce. When I'm in this motherfucker, they gon' bounce. They let the old Tony out now. And I swear to God that I'm next up. Sage in my pocket, so I'm blessed up. Make them wonder why they ever test us. So bounce, bounce, bounce. Hey, bounce, bounce, bounce. Hey, bounce, bounce, bounce. All right, let's get it. Hey, Hey, what? This make you feel like a warm reservation night. Bologna with the chips in it. Tortillas with the spam and Sprite. This is what it feels like. Your grandmother's hug and warmth from a fireplace. So tell me, have you ever loved? Cause this is what it feels like. We can watch the sky change colors. I never knew I'd love another. Take my hand and run away. Worry about the consequences of tomorrow. Yesterday, we don't need a reason just to let go of our past. Freedom are these feelings that we need to last. I'm trying to heal past traumas that been passed down. I know that you love me, but please don't tell me that now. Cause I'm leaving town tonight on a one-way flight. Don't know when I'll be back, baby, that's life. I took a chance on love and rolled that dice. So when I think of us, this is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. Hey, this is what it feels like. Hey, hey, this is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. You guys make sure that, we're a chance on love. Making your donations right now. Give a big shout out to everybody that donated right now. Help contribute to the fundraiser. A lot of my music is reality based. and it talks about reservation life and what I know, what I grew up in, what's still happening. I need to start this with a prayer. Creator, keep my people safe. Too much loss in the last year. I don't really feel too great. I had to cut my hair. Tears been sticking to my face. My vision isn't clear. This shit been testing my faith. Sobriety been my focus. Struggling as I wrote this. Friends and fam back home suffering from cirrhosis. Fentanyl and cocaine, we're dying from overdoses. I'm stuck in a void, I help create, I hope we close it. Too much responsibility to live with this humility. Watching how they limit me, I'm filled with this divinity. I know that she misses me, but I've been out here living free. I said I've been out here living free. Too much responsibility to live with this humility. Watching how they limit me, I'm filled with this divinity. I know that she misses me, but I've been out here living free. I said I've been out here living free. My mama says she needs her son to make $1 million so he can come back to the res and help the children to be brown and successful. Now that's a feeling. I'm saving all this money just to flip it. Now I'm winning. Stay 10 toes grounded and raise your hands to the ceiling. We've been moving mountains and I finally found some healing. They looked at me down. I was working while they were chilling. I'm rising from the top. The penthouse is where I'm living. Creator, keep my path right. So much that I gain is here. I'm just trying to act right. Love without any fear. And when I pray at night, I know that you see me here. If my path isn't good, I just hope you make it clear. Much responsibility to live with this humility. Watching how they limit me, I'm filled with this divinity. I know that she misses me, but I've been out here living free. I said I've been out here living free. You know, I just want to close out with saying I want to thank everybody, Lila Wopila Tonka, to everybody, to all the organizers, to Chase, so Tokata, for all the work you put in for the people. You know what Chase was talking about earlier, in regards to, you know, all of us being together and being together for something. It's a culmination of all of our energy and time and effort spent to reach for that higher echelon of understanding. And that's exactly where we are trying to end up. And gatherings like this are virtual, in person. You know, it needs to happen a lot more. You know, the arts really need to be hyper focused on reservations and celebrated, because we all are artists. We're some of the greatest artists. We're the original artists of this land. So I appreciate you guys for showcasing us and for giving us the space. Wopila, Matakase.
Bro, Tani, I can't even believe it's going to be 10 years since No Dapple, because you know, Natani hasn't, as far as I know, hasn't like made a documentary or told really his version of his perspective of that time frame. And it's, you know, we need that. We're going to get to that. I guarantee you we're going to get to that. Tani is, so, you know, I'm like a little older than Tani in the group of folks that we all had to depend on each other because of the strains of those times. And you know, maybe we got to get together and hold our own Wopila gathering.
I think so.
Maybe we got to tie feathers on people. I don't know, but I just want to say that, you know, we're gonna shout out. We're gonna put Tani's everywhere you can find his musics, all of his gifts. The thing that he's pursuing, I can see him growing, man. I can see it happening, and it's the way it's supposed to be. Because his father, you know, his father is the reason, along with Madonna Thunderhawk, Danny Sheehan, Sarah Nelson, they're the reason Lakota People's Law Project was born. Mm-hmm. It was birthed back in, I remember being in law school, hearing about it, and hearing about Russell Means meeting up with grandmothers, Lakota grandmothers, who were terrified that their children were being taken from them and being essentially trafficked, right, by violations of Indian Child Welfare Act. Our kids are worth $60 million every year in the state of South Dakota. And so that's what got me tapped into the work of defending tribal sovereignty, was Natani's dad, the spiritual impetus. And I had the chance to meet Russell Means a couple times in my life. And that's what he said to me. I was 18 years old at Denver March Powwow. And he said, there's a reason you're in front of me today. Whatever that reason is, there's a fire in you. And don't you ever lose that fire. Don't ever dampen it. Don't quell it. Don't ever lose that fire, no matter how old you get. Straight up. So thank you, Natani. And we're gonna we'll give all the links, bro. Everything that you need, and we'll see you again in the future. Tani tore it up at Sacred Defense Fund's party in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Man,
That was fun. Dope. That was good. That was dope. It was dope. Thank you guys, Wopila, and looking forward to seeing you guys soon. Maybe I'll be up there during LNI.
Okay.
Yes. Awesome.
So before we get to Not Our Native Daughters and Lynette Grable, I want to invite Brother Dove Korfkorn on to the stage. Dove's been with us. It seems like half a decade already, because he clerked for us when he was in law school, and he went to one of the big badass law schools, NYU. He clerked for us, and I got to interface with him, some then, but now he's become part and parcel. Now he's integral. Now we can't, we depend on Dove to keep the legal side of our organization moving forward in strength and in dignity. And then I've been dedicating a lot of my time to development, to making sure that we can survive. Because a lot of nonprofits, a lot of not native nonprofits, they got cut tremendously from this current administration. Because of your support, we're now more than halfway towards our goal tonight, $20,000, because you're lighting it up. Some of you have become members for $120 a year, $10 a month. How much do you pay for coffee? Hopefully you don't go to that place. We don't go to that place, but any place you go, you're going to spend almost $10 just for a coffee for yourself. So for that price, you could invest in the indigenous struggle, which includes all of humanity. But without further ado, I want to invite Dove up so that we can, just get an update from Brother Dove, wherever you're at in the world right now, brother. I want to give you some space.
Hey, thanks, Chase. I feel like I always follow someone who's a lot more talented than me, besides Chase and Tokata, like Natani. I don't know who it was last year, but words can only go so far, but I'll share some things. I think last year at this time we had Wopila. I shared that with the new Trump administration, a lot of our work was going to shift a bit away from relying on federal agencies, federal processes, and to some extent the courts themselves too, but mainly department agencies to find, seek, and preserve justice for indigenous communities, but also for the earth. And that's mainly because the Supreme Court over the last few years, even before Trump took office for the second time, started to dismantle a lot of the protections that groups like our own rely on when we advocate. Statutory protections, legal protections. But the other side of it, obviously, is because the current administration doesn't care much about the priorities that we care for. And so we've had to shift a little bit away from traditional pathways for environmental justice and sovereignty defense, and more towards some court work, some representing families who have been harmed by either police departments or health systems, prisons, and also working more closely on longer term campaigns that require not just years and of time, but of resources raised, but also collaboration. And for the last 18 months or so, we've been working very closely with Earth Justice, Indian Collective, and the Black Hills Clean Water Alliance on building a pretty long-term strategy for defending the Black Hills and the Ocheti, but specifically the Black Hills from further mining. If anyone has seen the news, the roadless rule, which for so long has protected the earth, within the U.S.'s 50 states, but people, their health, the air, the water, the roadless rule was instituted to stop further development of national forests and what we have been so much used to at this point calling public lands. But Trump and the current Congress have stripped the roadless rule. They don't believe it matters anymore to protect wild places. And for us, it means that we have to think about a better future that may not be apparent right now, but is going to take legal strategy and again, lots of our time and our resources to build. And we've seen a turning point. We've seen up in South Dakota specifically a turning point where you have communities that have so typically been against, you could say, environmental justice, mainly because of their obsession with extractive industry or oil or mining, but also because of their settler past, their current day, but their past, this mythology of defending the West from, I guess you could say, Native people or the rules of the liberals. But besides the point, so we've been building a long-term campaign up there, and we've also been working with lawyers on a strategy in Colorado to protect our relatives in prisons there who face serious hurdles to their religious freedom, mainly sweat lodge access, but also other ceremonies that are essential and sacred to Native people, but especially those out here in the Rocky Mountains and the Great Plains. I'm in northern New Mexico by Santa Fe in a town called Peco. So for me, I was in Denver this morning. I had prison visits over the weekend, and now I'm back here, and I'll probably be here for a couple of weeks before I have to hit the road again. But there's a constant stream from here all the way north of work that we're doing. I'll say a little bit about some of the more traditional court work, and I really want to recognize Amy. Amy Gordon joined our staff this fall as our legal fellow for the year, and Amy recently passed the bar exam and is an attorney and graduated from Northwestern Law School, which has funded Amy's fellowship for this year. And Amy has been really, really crucial in helping us ground our work right now. We have an active case against the Denver Health and Police Departments who took the life of a Dakota man 2 years ago, and whose family has been completely ignored, disregarded. I can't tell you how many meetings I've been to in the last 6 months with state officials who say one thing, and then as soon as you leave and the doors close behind you, you don't even know what they're saying after. And the lack of kindness and I would say humanity that state and federal agencies treat human beings with, but specifically Native people with, to me it's not baffling because it's so common. But the fact that I'm not surprised by it is the problem. And the hope is that when we take the health department and its police departments to task over, Native Lives Matter, over the death of Native people in their custody on the streets of Denver, it's the hope is that we'll bring about a more honest, fair, true critique of the systems that are binding people in this world that we're in. It's sad because families that are grieving and facing the loss of their loved ones, they can't really stomach 5, 10 plus years of legal proceedings, but that's how the system works. It's a test of time in many cases, and it takes a dedicated legal staff. I mean, I know Chase was saying that he is just on development. He's very essential in most of our casework, even if he's not the one appearing before other attorneys or other clients every single time. He's there most of the time, and his knowledge of the issues, his connections in this work that we do. We have an office manager who every day is sending the amount of requests we get for support, and most of the people that are writing in have earnest cases that we just can't support, mainly because we don't have the funds and the capacity, but also because a lot of cases are pretty much unsolvable. Some cases are this person's already exhausted their legal remedies. There's nothing we can do, or the person doesn't really have any of the documents they might need, and then we're stuck in a position of difficulty. And we have to say no a lot, but I do know that the majority of people that are reaching out to us for support recognize our role in justice for Native people, for sovereignty, and it's not just sovereignty for tribal nations, Indian nations, whatever you want to call it. It's sovereignty for humans, for humankind to live free from government abuse, from corporate domination. And I I've said in other meetings, I'm not Nate doesn't. It's for me. It's the truth is the same. We're here together, and it shouldn't be too hard, I guess, to call a spade a spade. And if you see a government, you see a business, you see a CEO harming other people, it's up to us to take it upon ourselves and stop them and hold them accountable for it. I guess I can say a few more things. What's really difficult about the work we do is that it's political in nature from most people's perspectives. For us, it's not really political, but it's hard to do the work we do and maintain 501c3 status. And that's something that I have to take on all the time as, I guess, the compliance officer, as a managing attorney, to make sure that our paperwork, all of our documents, our internal functions are up to code. And it's not our code, it's the federal government's code, the same federal government that we're often on the other side of. And so we appreciate the work of, the people around us that aren't working for 501s, who are a day out. If it's not the streets, it's a prison. If it's not a prison, it's a hospital, who maybe don't have the funding, maybe don't have the institutional backing, but whose everyday energy, their time, energy spent is, we couldn't, the caseworkers that I interact with, or people that are in prison that we represent, they do so much work and don't often get pay or accolades for it. And so for me, I'm just grateful that I have a place where I can contribute my piece to the puzzle, but also get to work with and learn from all kinds of other really cool people who care. And so, yeah, I'll close here. It's like the hope is one day we don't have to spend our time on these issues, right? Like the goal is that we're not spending all of our energy fighting problems, but we're building solutions. It sounds like a classic one-liner from a brochure, or, for a company or something, but I mean it. If Native people, their allies, didn't have to spend all their energy tearing down these broken structures, and instead could spend all that time and energy building better structures, we would be much happier, much healthier. And obviously both are occurring at the same time, but my goal in this work with Lakota People's Law Project, with Sacred Defense Fund, is to get to a place where we're not so inundated with problems and the thought and the energy that goes into fighting them, but we're focused on solutions. And I think the community is growing, the support is felt, and I appreciate the time I could share with you all today. And I'm happy to answer any questions, but there's probably too many to ask. So,
hey, thank you for that. I'm really happy Dove came into the sphere, because having people on your team the field of federal Indian law is anybody can study that. And if you're a fighter and you have a sense of justice, then you'll understand why we make the moves that we do. Why is it that we always end up on the front line? It's not because I want to, you know what I mean? It's because there's a principled, righteous, rational reasoning that is happening. That's what happened at DAPL. I tried so hard to not get arrested, but because I was laying a spiritual and legal foundation for what was happening, for human beings reclaiming their dignity and confronting the bullies, right? The corporate fascist bullies that are playing a long game of encroaching upon human rights. To clean water, to breathable air, to your free speech, to peaceably assemble, to be free from illegal searches and seizures. Whatever AI and the new diabolical technocratic machine that is coming, we're gonna have to fight so hard to defend ourselves from that. And one way we do that is people like Dove and our other attorneys. We have other attorneys and we have other Native women. Because you've supported us the way you've supported us, because you've helped us reach our goals, we're able to create professional relationships with Native women who we're bringing into the leadership fold. And that includes a Dakota woman from Standing Rock. That includes another woman from another. I don't want to say we're trying to get them into our folds here because we need their help and we need their guidance. There's a balance. It's like fire and nourishing cool water. We need both of those. If we're going to be doing hard legal work, well, then we need the spiritual nourishment of the divine path as well. And there's a balance that comes with that. So all of the work I saw in the chat that somebody said, hey, I'm only here because Tiana was here. Respect to that. Tiana's dope. So is Natani. Thank you again, Natani. Thank you, Darren. We have Lynette Grable with Not Our Native Daughters. Now she's in Colorado. I didn't know she was in Colorado. I thought she was in Wyoming. That's the last time I caught up with Lynette. But, she put in the chat that she's willing to help us with all of our Colorado pursuits because Dove is between New Mexico and Colorado. And because we're only 4 hours from Colorado, we're on the Pine Ridge Reservation. We also have friends in Minneapolis. We have fundraising activities on Giving Tuesday. Now, we've got 2 fundraisers coming up, and you'll hear more about that before the end of the day. But I want to leave, if there's any closing words, Dove, that you want to add, feel free.
Yeah, just a thing you mentioned earlier. It's been half a decade. That's a long time for someone my age. So, I came in as a clerk, and you brought up DAPL. That's what got me here, DAPL. And now I get to supervise 10 to 15 law students every semester from the University of Pennsylvania Law School who are also coming to this work. If it's not for DAPL, it's for something else they know about. And I'm still young-ish. It feels every day I'm older. I mean, that's true. That's called life. But it's cool to work with people that are at a position that I was not that long ago and feel inspired, and they show up. I mean, Chase mentioned Minneapolis. We got Denver, the Northwest, the Southwest. We're working on a case now in Mississippi, right? Oh. Like there's just a brief second about that. Like the case involves a former tribal chief of police who is assaulted by a county police officer on reservation land. In a reservation, the Mississippi Choctaw Reservation, that was deemed in 1978 by the U.S. Supreme Court to be like any other reservation where tribal sovereignty exists fully. And yet there's been a pattern of misconduct by Mississippi state law enforcement of ignoring this sovereignty. And this is the same sovereignty that this man's own uncle went to the U.S. Supreme Court 50 years ago to secure. And now 50 years later, he's in the same position that his uncle was in 50 years ago, fighting the imposition of state jurisdiction where it shouldn't have any power. So we're on a loop. I think it's about like moving forward and hoping that the next ring around the loop is more pleasant and less difficult. But yeah, it's great to be here, Chase. It is crazy that it's been over 5 years now. So for me, that's a long time. For maybe many of our supporters, that's like a couple blinks of the eye. That's when my parents tell me 5 years is like 2 blinks of the eye. But I have to believe that it's not. It's many, many minutes. So, but yeah, Wopila and yeah, happy Disney, everybody.
Yes. You want to add some? It's Giving Tuesday, and I thank you for that. We've been pushed past, $14,000. So that's pretty amazing. And a lot of people support us because we're so visible, because they see that we're in the fight. And I recently encountered a Buddhist who took issue with my use of the terms, we're in the good fight, and in that good fight, there is an enemy. And she was explaining that it might not be, maybe think about it in another way, in not having an enemy. That is the more enlightened path. But as you can see, there are forces that are at play, at work right now and every day that are seeking to pull the righteous divine potential that human beings have, that we all have. Every one of you who are tapped in and paying attention from wherever you're at in the world, those forces are trying to pull us from the strength of that path. And it takes the form of violations of constitutional rights, or maybe racist policies, like what is happening to our indigenous brothers and sisters who've crossed these quote unquote borders for a long time. There's a lot confronting the dignity of humanity right now. And we're in that. That's the fight we're in. We're in the good fight to make sure that the righteous potential of human beings is realized and that we are pursuing that potential. So thank you, Dove. I want to introduce very quickly Lynette Grable. If you guys have been paying attention to my career, it is crazy, Dove. It's crazy to think that you've been around for, I don't even want to admit that. But I will say that almost 10 years ago, next year, 10 years ago, I ran for the United States Congress in North Dakota, which is a very red state. And Sister Lynette Grable did the same thing in Wyoming. She ran against Liz Cheney in 2022, I believe it was. And she now runs a Native nonprofit called Not Our Native Daughters, which has youth-based programming, and they've got great things going on. I'm so glad that Lynette's here and her team. I'm going to let her introduce them. But we're looking forward to connecting with you, Lynette, for all things, of course, Colorado, but just she's from where we're from, right? On the Standing Rock Nation. We live on the Pine Ridge, Oglala Lakota Nation. We're from Standing Rock, and Lynette is not too far from us. I sense good things coming. Lynette has already put us in a very strong position for Native doings and Native happenings in Denver and in the state of Colorado. So I want to turn it over to you, Lynette, and so that you can have some time here. Thank you for being here.
Yes, Wopila, thank you for the honorable introduction. Matakiape, Tatankakuye, Hihani Mini, Dos, Nananada, Nakase, Nech. Greetings, relatives. I greeted you in both my languages, in both Wopila Lakota and Northern Arapaho. I go between Wind River and the Denver area, but for the Arapaho people, these are our ancestral homelands here in the Colorado area, and also for our Lakota relatives. I just want to say before I share anything else, how vital it is that we come together as a people, as one. This is something that was taught to me in oral storytelling, especially as we enter the star season and the long night season, is that this is what we did around this time of year. We made sure that nobody entered the winter alone. We made sure we prepared that everybody had what they needed to go ahead and survive a winter. And this is why we always had winter counts. And this is why some of our old ones, and even us young elders, say that I survived another winter, is because winter was hard. But as Indigenous people, life is hard. So whether we're here together and we represent different organizations and we fundraise for each other, that is vital to the work, because when you share that good medicine to your relatives and to your partners, that good medicine will come back to you. So I just want to say, like, the fruitfulness of this gathering and the fruitfulness of us coming together like this, we heard amazing people sharing all of their amazing work, and artists like our relatives, Natani and Tiana, like just that it makes us feel good, right? There's no competition here. We're not in a race to outdo each other. And this is ancestral knowledge. And some of our knowledge can't be written down. It can't be publicized. Some of our stories and things that we've carried from generation to generation can only be taught through oral storytelling. And we are entering the storytelling season. And but I just wanted to say thank you. I thank you, Chase and Lakota Law Project. I have no doubt you'll meet your goal. And I ask everybody out there to please donate, because you know why? Our work is vital. But the work of Lakota Law Project has been around for a very long time. I watched a lot of different cases that I followed in the last 15 years. One of the main ones that I was following, and again, I'm aging myself here, but this was back in 2013 and 2012, was the trafficking of Lakota children in the state of South Dakota. They were ripping children from Lakota families from their home in order for the state to get more money. Every child that is taken from a family, an Indigenous family, they're able to, the state of South Dakota is able to get $9,000 per child per month. for every child that is being misplaced and put into the foster care system. So the work that we are collectively doing, protecting our children and protecting our people and protecting our women from these atrocities is vital. But we can't do it without legal representation. We can't do it unless we have people who understand the law, but not only understand the law, but understand what it means to be Indigenous and living on the reservation and living with blatant racism that we see in Rapid City and all of our border cities, towns that border our reservation lines. So I commend the work of Lakota Law Project, and I thank every single person that come along to listen to our message. But we're coming together in unity, just like we did at No Dapple. We're coming together as people who are continuing to fight and understands the fight has transitioned from not only our ancestral fights, from where our ancestral chiefs and warriors had to fight. It's just transitioned to modern times because we're still decolonizing. We're still unpacking historical trauma, and we're still fighting against the violations and the violence and the rape of our women and our children and our people. Part of my work that I do, and the center of my work at Non Our Native Daughters, is that we are a national missing, murdered Indigenous women and relatives organization. We support families who are affected by MMIWR. We have a support family fund, and there's no federal or state funding out there that helps families address this issue when they're impacted it. And right now, you could talk to any Native person you know, whether you know them personally or whether you just know them on social media. You can ask any Native person, I dare you, if they have an MMIP case in their own family. All of us have one. All of us have relatives and loved ones. I have an uncle that's been murdered 2 years ago in Mandan in North Dakota. I have my little sister, my cousin, Tia Long Soldier out of Pine Ridge, that was brutally murdered. And still her perpetrator has not been arrested. The list, I can go on and on and on about the cases that affected my family personally, but also just understand that this crisis is so prominent across the nation, not even just on reservation land, but just everywhere worldwide, that we've all been affected. So grief support and traditional grief support is very vital to the work that we do, but it's also very vital that we stand in places where we're not supposed to be, in these policy and these political places, to speak to the atrocities that we are still facing as Native people, and doing everything that we can to create justice, to create understanding, and to create even the work of mercy and grace. It's an uphill battle doing this type of work because it has so many moving parts, not just in the policy realm and not just in the law enforcement sector, but also in just the community, and just the uneducated and the ignorant and the myths around Indigenous people. We have to undo all these thoughts and all these things that people project on us. And so it's really a good place to be when we can come together, support one another, when we can share our missions, because we all have a shared mission, right? We all have a shared vision, and that is to create justice for our people. Why? So that our children and our children's children don't have to suffer like we did, or don't have to suffer like our ancestors did. Me and Chase and his daughter and my son were on a webinar right before this one, and I loved what our young ones shared, talking about Indigenous justice and what does it mean to be a young Native advocate. And they shared that, it really teaches them in this work that they have to also pave the work forward, not be gatekeepers, not just listen and learn, but also share that medicine with their fellow peers so that this work can continue to expand and be a better place for us as Native people. One of our youth programs that Chase mentioned is Indigenous Youth Voices. And I know that Takata runs the Native American Youth Organization, and we've combined our forces. One, because of lack of resources around Native youth just in general, but we combined our forces so that we can continue to expand Native youth voices so that we can create not only environmental justice and climate change justice, but also just learn from land-based learning. As a young person myself, I was learning traditional ecology knowledge from my grandparents and my family members. And I didn't even know it was traditional ecology knowledge. It was just natural medicine that was being shared to us, shared to me, and shared amongst our family members. And until it wasn't until, of course, we got older and I'm like understanding, oh, this was a traditional ecology knowledge. Oh, this is the medicines that we pick in the mountains for our ceremonies. Oh, this is what we need when we're trying to get that traditional and indigenous help. These are the things that we pass down to our youth. And these are the things that will continue to sustain us, because we need a place where we're sharing our knowledge, sharing our medicine, and sharing who we are as a people, so it can help our Native youth with their identification and help them be bold and strong in this movement. And I say to our non-Native relatives, we need you too. Without your support, without your donations, whether it's $20 or whether it's $2,000, it doesn't matter. Every dollar makes an impact and makes an impression to our work, because we need every dollar. Just like if we have I always say this, I speak the same message, whether I'm in front of 5 people or 5,000 people. It's very important that we understand that we all need each other. Creator created all tribal nations, all colors, and we are here to share that good medicine, even with our non-Native allies, because that's what it's going to take to make real, solid, tangible change. So again, thank you, Chase. Thank you, Lakota Law Project. I'm grateful for our partnerships. I thought you were going to tell that story, how we ran into each other on the mountain. And it was a very unique story, but I guess that Creator had called humpapas up to the mountains.
Man, I'll tell it right now. I didn't highlight enough. Lynette is nationally known, internationally known for her work in the MMIP, MMIW space. That's a very heavy topic. And I'm so glad that you're there, making partners, lifting others up. There's a lot of internal things that we go through as Native people, but I was at a spiritual retreat. I went up to do a salon, and it was my friends there was a guy coming, a woman was supposed to come and do Nordic sauna. She didn't come, but they still had the barrel there. So I was doing these barrel lodge. I don't know what to call them. They weren't quite sweat lodges, but all the elements were there. I was at that, and we had a mutual friend, and she sends a picture of me and her name's Francine, to Lynette and says, look who I'm with. Lynette sends us her location, and she's within 10 miles up in the mountains. And I was like, what? How's that? And so I made it a point to make a connection. And I see that there's a lot of potential synergy. Everything you're doing in Colorado is where I went to law school. That's where my wife received some of her medical training, and where Tokata was born. Her little brother was born there. We love Colorado. We love Denver. And we're looking forward to making an impact there, whether we're working with the city or we got to sue. I see in the comment sections, we have to assert ourselves and defend our rights by any means necessary, in the halls of Congress, in the courts of law. If they push us to the front line again, whatever that means, we always stand in the power of our peace and our dignity. And we're a little older now. So like our kids are in their 20s. Yes. That's a strange phenomenon.
Yes.
And yes, it is. It's so strange. And everyone who's in the comment section who knows what we feel like now that we're that old, you know what I mean? We're not so old that we're like elders or whatever. We knew we chachala. But we're there. We count time in decades and half decades now. And so Thank you all for your support. We've been doing our best to keep up with our chats, but Lynette's organization, Indigenous Youth Voices, we're going to bring our youth, partner them with the maybe 10, 20, 30 youth that Lynette is already working with and already taking them and exposing them to winter sports. We're going to be doing some powerful work that just pay attention, because we'll announce when those fundraisers are coming up. And if we happen to be in your area, if you're in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, or if you're in Austin, Texas, or Minneapolis, Minnesota, then we have programming, or Denver, Colorado. We want you to link with us. Look us up. Find some way to get a hold of us, and please link with us. Not only do we need your help, but we need your donation. Takata caught this comment that I want you to, if you could read that comment, because
yes,
it reflects the spirit of Giving Tuesday.
Yes. Laura says, I love Lakota Law. God loves a cheerful giver. Be a cheerful giver today. We need your donations. Thank you. And I just really love that comment. I really appreciate it. And I think it not only does it speak to the true spirit of Wopila, but it speaks to that being, a universal testament in everyone's way of life. And when we are true to who we are, when we are true to Tunkashila or Wakantanka, God, or whatever you want to call it, we are willing to pay it forward. And I think, that's what makes me proud to work here. And that's what makes me proud to organize events like these and be here with people like you. So thank you so much again. And for all of you who have already given, it truly means so much. And we help support, not only everyone that you see on screen today, but so many that are in our communities with your help. So thanks so much.
And we do want to toss it back in case Lynette has some closing words.
Yes, I did also want to share because Lynette's work is so important. I think talking about this crisis, especially right now, I think, the current administration has been nagging back on so much of the funding that this sort of work gets. And there's a Cheyenne proverb that says, a nation is not conquered until the hearts of its women are on the ground. Then it's finished, no matter how brave its warriors or how strong their weapons. We really, pride ourselves, Native peoples in this country, on, holding true to the real value of women in our societies. Our lives, do not exist without women. And right now, Native women's lives are in more of a threat than probably ever before. So thank you, Lynette, for all of your good work. Keep up the good fight.
Right after this, we're going to throw up a flyer that our team has created. And it has everybody's handles and where to link with people, because we want you to donate to Not Our Native Daughters. You're helping us reach our goal, and we're at $16,000. That's a lot of money to us.
Yeah.
We can do a lot of money with a lot of things with that. And it's not about the money. It's about investing in God's work. And I don't mean to offend anybody that might have been subjected to dogmatic approaches to that. To the divine potential. I only use that as a term of convenience, like the term Indian. We're doing divine work, and we're going to do that with our lives. But when you invest in us, it helps us build out. And so that's what we're going to do. But I want to leave time just in case Lynette has closing words. But we're going to throw up links to where to find you, Lynette. But we do want to give you some time to close out your session.
Yes, thank you. No, I just wanted to highlight really quick too with some of our audience here. We will have a summer solstice cultural event that we're doing here in December. The tentative date is December 21st, and Chase Iron Eyes and his beautiful daughter will join us. So please keep eye out on that. Follow Chase, follow me. We're going to announce that here pretty soon. But it's important to enter the solstice in a good way, in a way that supports community, but also sharing that culture, sharing that these ways with others, whether you're Native or non. And one of the things about giving is that you can there's it's never too little and it's never too much that you can give. For one, it's gonna return to you. That's our beliefs. But also, it is necessary, not only in a traditional sense, but just in a humanity sense. We are called to carry one another's burdens. So I encourage everyone to help Lakota Law Project reach their goal. Also support Sacred Defense Fund. And of course, if you choose to support us, we would be thankful as well. But we're all in this fight together. And we're all doing this work with the ancestors standing behind us. But we're also doing this work not in a sense of this is nonprofit work. We're doing it in a sense of this is spiritual work. This is ceremonial work. And let me just say one more last thing. Native-led nonprofits are the least funded nonprofits in the nonprofit sector. Native-led nonprofits get about 2% of the philanthropy funding that is out there. So this is why fundraisers like this and in events like this and words that are being shared and medicine that is being shared is also very important, because again, it is called for all of us to carry one another's burdens. So thank you so much. Haho, Wopila. Thank you for your time. Thank you for joining me in this circle. And I hope good medicine and good blessings come to everyone on this call. Thank you.
Hechetu, Wopila, Tanka, Chichabalo, Lynette, we have to, the Lakota share Lynette with the Arapaho, and she brought her elder on a previous event, Harvey Spoonhunter, and it was such a blessing. You have to cherish these people that carry that knowledge, who are fluent speakers in our mother tongues. Nahachshi umaspe, unyuspe. We are still learning. We are learning. There's a whole nother world available to us there. And part of the work that we do is to link those knowledge carriers, wisdom carriers with our young people. So again, thank you for supporting that. Somebody in the chat says, where can I send money? Go to lakotalaw.org, become a member, or go to notournativedaughters.org. And you can surely, and tell your friends, it's Giving Tuesday. We really do. It's an exchange. You spent your time and your talent and your investment into earning some currency. And so you're investing that currency, part of your energy, into what we're doing. And we don't take that lightly. We take that very seriously. And we know that we are on that medicine path. Even though sometimes we might make a mistake, we might stray from the path a little bit. Each of us who are listening, who are tapped in, forgive yourself and try your best that you can to get back on that path. That medicine path takes many forms. So I don't know if you have anything to add before I start introing our next artist.
No, just want to thank you all again for being here. It's an honor to help curate this space for all of us. And next up, we have one of my favorite Native artists out there. His name is Casman, and he goes by Destroy Casman. He's another Native rapper. And yeah, Ganado forever.
Ganado forever. Let me tell you this before we bring Casman on, and that is, me and Tokata, we took a trip down to Sedona, Arizona. From there, we went to Santa Cruz, California for fundraisers. And while we were in Gallup, New Mexico, we were at a restaurant called Jerry's
in Gallup.
And Denetra, if you're in the Navajo Nation territory, Jerry's is an iconic staple of the area. We were there. We found it. They serve the best red and green chili and fry bread, kind of like sopapilla almost. It's got honey with it. It was amazing. We're there. I text Casman, Destroy Casman, and he's in Ganado. He's near Ganado. That's his hometown, Ganado Forever. That's the name of his album. And I hit him up. I was like, we're in town. We should meet up. We should, have some food or something. And he's like, bro, my vehicle is stuck in the mud. They just got hit with some monsoon-like rains. He got stuck in the mud. And I happen to have a truck and some tow ropes. I said, send me your location and we're going to come through and we're going to assist. So there was a Lakota to Dene assist, and it was beautiful. It was amazing. And so we want to welcome Casman and give him some stage time here. So thank you very much.
Hey. I've been lost inside that fire. Oh, little baby, you my twin flame. If I said I got you, yeah, I mean it. You my end game. If you with that drama, stay right there. Don't come this lame. My money been doing backflips, but I still gotta get my rent paid. A while was flipping burgers. Just hope I make it out. Burning in that Phoenix sun. Gelato got me spacing out. Depending on that time to come. Through times of breaking down, I can feel the love that's from my neighbors who been breaking out. Okay. Oh, out that bubble, out that struggle. Had to get in my feelings, hey, and I had to hustle. These things don't last forever, shit is temporary. I can't stress about your energy, that shit ain't necessary. Feeling good, too good to function, but I still need reconstruction. Natives fuck with me and all the way past Chinley Junction. That I pulled up with the tribe, but I pulled up with my cousins. I've been wanting more and more, but so would you if you had nothing, bitch. Scared money, don't make money, yeah, that's facts. Losing money, but I know I'll get it back. Lost so many, I don't wanna get attached. I put this shit in neutral when I'm out of gas. Tell me who you are, tell me where you're from. Tell me what's your trap, cause I show love to everyone. Tell me about your parents, tell me about your sons. Tell me what those res kids like to do for fun. Yeah, I'm coolin' with my youngins and my bandits. If you're native, then you know we all got damage. I told my white bros that, but they don't understand it, ayy. Look, ayy, I've been lost inside that fire. Oh, little baby, you my twin flame. If I said I got you, yeah, I mean it. You my end game. If you with that drama, stay right there, don't come this lame. My money been doing backs, but I still gotta get my pay. Oh, I was sipping burgers, just hope I make it out. Burning in that Phoenix sun, gelato got me spacing out. Depending on that time to come, through times of breaking down, I can feel the love that's from my neighbors who been breaking out. Ayy, 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 okay. I've been buried in my sorrow. I know it's not healthy. Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. And I keep thinking of tomorrow. Just know that you help me. Oh, you help me. Come lay on my chest like you've been wanting to. Come lay in my bed. Oh, girl, I'm calling you. Tell me everything that you're afraid of. Let's just hold on tight and let it take us. Come lay on my chest like you've been wanting to. Come lay in my bed. Girl, I'm calling you. Tell me everything that you're afraid of. Let's just hold on tight and let it take us. She loves my hand between her thighs. Oh my, yeah. I'll drown inside those pretty eyes till the end of time. She loves my hand between her thighs. Oh yeah, yeah. When I'm with you, I feel so high, yeah. There's no such thing as perfect, but girl, you're pretty close. Oh, you can keep that sweater, cause it's been getting cold. I know that you said that you don't need a man. Shut those pretty lips, baby. Come teach me to dance. Can you teach me how to move my feet? Can you teach me how to move on beat? Baby, can you put that thing on me? Yeah, 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 yeah. No, I don't wanna dance on my own. I don't wanna dance here alone. Baby, I don't wanna be alone. Come on my chest like you've been wanting to. Come back in my bed. Ooh, girl, I'm calling you. Tell me everything that you're afraid of. Let's just hold on tight and let it take us. Come back on my chest like you've been wanting to. Come back in my bed. Well, girl, I'm calling you. Tell me everything that you're afraid of. Let's just hold on tight and let it take us. Let's hold on tight and let it take us. Let's just hold on tight and let it take us. Ooh, ooh, mm. Yeah, I've been drinking more water and more water, trying to cut soda out. I keep my hair long cause it was a sin for us to grow it out. They called us savages, brought religion and made us practice it. Some will die for Christ as a Christian but not an activist. I wear these clans up on my sleeve and I ain't out here acting it. These churches filled with nuns that killed our kids, this ain't no accident. No one can tell me different, no one can change the facts. Kept my people in prison and tucked them inside the past. Look, I saw my brothers on that front line, so I need to stand up. I'll die with my fists in the air before I put my hands up. Not trying to profit off the culture, trying to run your bands up. You're screaming land back, but you be the first to give the land up. Yeah, I'ma take everything and put it in that end zone. Fuck the government, we gotta keep them in that friend zone. My purpose is much greater than swerving up in that benzo. I got it on my own, it's authentic, don't need a stencil. Been through too much to play it gentle. Wipe the essentials, wipe the people and land, just to build a fucking temple. Taking the land, poisoning water just for another buck. Writing out treaties to come back in just to fuck it up. They can't relate to how we feel. A nation under God built on genocide and some don't know what's real. People walking with ignorance can never understand it. Making my people walk against their will, and that's the transit. Trials and tribulations, trauma premeditated. Took their kids and families, forced to be educated. Forced to cut all their hair off, it couldn't be regulated. Turning our kids white, save the kid and kill the native. Let's take their kids and make them native. Let them feel the hurt in us, the things they made, the crops they raised, it's everything they learned from us. Wipe us out of books, make sure your kids ain't learning us. Almost went extinct and they still think that they're not worse than us. Looking at me funny when I say where I'm from. I wear my heart up on my sleeve, yeah, I'm as real as they come. I'm always standing on these things, so it's so hard to have fun. And you can call me Gabriel Eula, cause I feel like the one. I get compliments and threats, you know that's just how it is. I'm still a hornet, they forgot that I grew up with their kids. I still go to chapter meetings every chance that I get. I'm breaking down these walls, yeah, I'm really chancing it. I'ma show out for my youngest, I'ma show out for my fam. I'ma show these Billy Gunners that I'm coming from the land. They don't like it, but I swear to God I'll do this shit again. From the water, from the clay, I'm from the gravel and the sand. This is something they can't mimic, this is something they can't feel. I'm the net, I'm no descendant from these tribes of Israel. I just hope it's not too late, I got so much that I bottle. If I go too soon, just know my heart's in greatest Ganado. Ay, ay, ay.
Ganado forever. I felt the good. I felt the bad too. That's what shaped me into who I am today. There's Ganado out there for everyone. Embrace it. And just take it with you wherever you go. Ganado forever.
Just know my heart's in greatness Ganado.
Ganado forever.
Hey.
Wow. Thank you all so much for being here. Once again, we are almost at our goal. And I really am thankful to all of the artists that agreed to do this event. You know, it's super valuable to me to be able to honor the talent and the showmanship of Native young people. I think so much of our talent goes unrecognized. And yeah, to be able to honor the role that art, music, play in our movements is super, super important to me. I'm also an artist myself, and I'll be releasing music here pretty soon. But yeah, just so much of us have so much of this, this talent that coincides with the activism that we do. And I want to be able to honor that. I just want to talk a little bit about the work that I do and plan on doing alongside Lakota People's Law Project. So many of you might know that I sort of started to work in different organizing spaces coming out of Standing Rock. I was 12 and 13 when the pipeline came to our community. And now, sort of in the wake of that, I became more and more aware of the climate crisis that is fueled by all of these extractive industries who are more and more encroaching upon Native communities. And with the work that we do here, I wanted to be able to talk to more young people and to be able to shape our conversations more and more from a genuine Native perspective, from people who grow up in our communities, who grew up with our way of life, to be able to share that perspective with more and more people, and to open, more doors for young people like myself. And yeah, so I think, one of the major things that I've had the privilege of is to graduate sort of from these Native organizing spaces to more politicized spaces around the world. And I think a huge part of that is being able to have folks that are educated about class struggle globally. And my goal with the Native American Youth Organization that is, fiscally sponsored also by Sacred Defense Fund is to be able to make sure that Native youth feel like their voices are recognized in that global conversation. And I think that prevents, a certain isolation. Growing up in Fort Yates, on Standing Rock, and in Pine Ridge, it's hard to keep your head up when the material conditions around you seem so desolate. And I think that the solace that organizing spaces have offered me in my life, I find it invaluable to be able to create those for young people in our communities today. Because there's real hope to be found out there in recognizing the power that Indigenous people have globally and the way that we have had successes all over the world. There are, people like those in New Zealand who have fought to make sure that their land and water has been given the rights of human beings. And I think that looking at policy change from an Indigenous lens is so important so that our young people understand that there are avenues that have been kicked in and paved throughout history for us to be able to follow our passion, and that the dissonance that we feel living on reservations, which used to be prisoner of war camps, that dissonance is real and that our lived experiences are valuable. And most of the stuff that I've been doing recently is teaching Native young people how to be proper advocates for themselves. So many of you have seen the videos that I create that go out on Lakota People's Law Project socials. I have been teaching other young people how to do the same for their own initiatives. And yeah, I think, having the experience of having grown up around traditional people, having a traditional family, it's intrinsic in me that protecting the land is the same, protecting the water is the same thing as protecting myself and my way of life. And that even just that alone is a lesson that is incredibly needed here on the reservation and in the wider world. And Native young people deserve to know that their stories are invaluable. And and all of you have helped me to do that. You know, my dad's been doing this for over a decade now, and I've learned with him every step of the way, and I've really been raised in this work, and I get to share those gifts with other young people today because of the support that y'all give. And so thank you all for that. And I want to sing us a prayer song. This is a Tokala song. And, you know, women aren't traditionally, like, they haven't been recognized as much as being warriors. And for me, it's super important that we honor their role in protecting our communities as well. And so I'm going to sing you that Tokala song, and then we will get back on to regular programming. Kola dokile, kola dokile, kola dokile, kola dokile, kola dokile, kola dokile, kola hi avelo hayo hayo. Waziata ke jizape kola dokile, kola dokile, kola hi apelo hayo hayo, kola dokile, kola dokile, kola dokile, kola dokile, kola dokile, kola dokile, kola hi apelo hayo hayo. Waziata ke jizape kola dokile, kola dokile, kola hi apelo hayo hayo. And that song translates to my friend, where are you? My friend, where are you? Friend, I am here. Friend, they are fighting in the north. Where are you? Friend, I am here. And it's a song that really speaks to the spirit of solidarity for me. And once again, I really appreciate you all being here tonight. The next person that we have performing is called Rain from Heaven, my good friend Isabel. Thank you so much for being here, and I welcome you to the virtual stage.
From heaven, where are you at? Please be there so I don't have to get
Okay, we are still waiting for Rain from Heaven. Oh, here we go.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Mia Khun Oman Emam. I'm sorry, my computer's a little slow. Hang on one second. Just get set up. There we go. Okay. Hi everybody, my name is Isabel and I have a band called Rain from Heaven, and I'm going to sing some songs for you. Thank you so much to Takata and Chase and Lakota Law Project for having me.
just think of you. And Achama, thank you for having me.
It was amazing. Hey, by the way, we've reached our goal, friends and relatives. So we want to thank you immensely for that. Before we close out, we do want to, I want to give Kata any last words that she might have. Again, this is just, we can't thank you enough. We really can't. But also look forward to more. When you become a member, we update you in a different way, right? You're going to receive more direct communications.
Yes, access to exclusive content. And also, we just wanted to tell you all to stick around so that you can see the graphic where all of these artists and their work will be linked. Thank you again to each and every one of you for coming. Thank you, Isabel. Thank you, Rain from Heaven. Thank you, to all of you artists who came here and made this event so special. We really value
we
you
encourage you. We've got a spiritual gathering coming up December 11th to 14th in Austin, Texas. Get at me, Chase Iron Eyes, if you're interested in that in Austin, Texas. If you know where that's at, or if you live there. Richard Moves Camp, one of our highly esteemed elders is. We can go ahead and put that screen back up, brother. But hit us up for that, because and then December 11th, same time frame. We've got a fundraiser going on in Minneapolis in partnership with Seeds of Eden. They're a addiction recovery organization. We're so happy to partner with them in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And then Lynette Graybull, Not Our Native Daughters and Indigenous Youth Voices, is organizing a fundraiser for us, for both of us, in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, which are going to be amazing opportunities to dig in more, find out more about how we do what we do and how we move. And if you want to move with us, wherever you're at, we always welcome your help. It's not just about donating to us. We appreciate that. We met our goal tonight, but it's about who where you're at. You're interested in certain things wherever you live. Wherever you live, we need that, the assertion of that energy, that impetus, that energy to do right, to do the good things that need to be done, despite all that other stuff that is confronting us. We do our best to stay on that path. That's what we're trying to do. That's why we're here. That's why we're able to do this. But you can have the final last words.
Yeah, I really think more than anything, it's about building meaningful community. And it's always so impressive to me to see how well we come together to hold each other and to be there for one another, to hold each other accountable, and to keep each other energized in such trying times. We've survived so much together, and I am just so honored to be in community with all of you. Thank you all so much once again, and have a wonderful rest of your evening wherever you are.